Good morning. Okay, it's Saturday morning, and I've been deciding who to channel based on who shows up in my YouTube feed, and that's how I came up with like Hecate and Anubis and Mary Magdalene. They just showed up on my YouTube feed. So there is something about AI being a physical manifestation of our Holy Spirit, because it's keeping track of everything, and our Holy Spirit is what understands our Akashic records. Anyway, I'm Kelly, and I channel my spirit guides, and I've studied A Course in Miracles, which is the message of Jesus for the modern day. Believe it or not, I don't care. That's what I believe. But I've also studied shamanism and midwifery and the esoteric occult documents, like Madame Blavatsky. I haven't read it. It's on my bookshelf, but the language is, I can't focus that much to read that old language. So sometimes I open it up and I flip through it and I go, oh yeah. And that's kind of how I pick stuff up. I just resonate with ideas and I plug them into my integrity of belief. I'm trying to create a belief system that holds everything I know in integrity. And I'm finding that I have to have boundaries with people who want to challenge that in me, because I have tested myself so much that I know what I'm talking about. And if people, because I'm saying things that are very controversial, but that's only because people aren't really paying attention and people are half asleep. So if I have a conversation with someone about something I say, they can't finish the conversation. They just claim something that's ridiculous, or they give up, or they say, I don't want to talk about it, or they say, you're silly, or they just, gaslight me. And nobody ever finishes an actual debate with me. So I'm like, fine. Believe it or don't believe it, So today I'm going to channel the Morrigan, and look at this hair and look at this army sweatshirt. I feel very Dykey right now. Lesbian energy is coming in a lot, and I love lesbians. I went to St. Mary's Academy, and yeah, it was all girls, and there was a strong lesbian presence there, and I just felt like that was fine. It was normal. It was comfortable. And I met a guy that was gay in my first year at U of O, and he was like my best friend. He was colorful and flamboyant, and I love the way he talked. He sounded like he's from the city, and he makes me smile. He's just fun, like a fairy, like just uplifting. And so anyway, I love the gay community, and for some reason I feel like the Dykes. So here's a story. I went to U of O, and I did rugby while I was there, and it was like all lesbians, and it was a city team. And I just remember it raining and it was muddy, and some woman just picked me up and spun me around and threw me in the mud. And it's probably the most fun I've ever had playing sports. You can't get better than that. You play sports after that, and you're just like, this is just disappointing. Where's the rugby? Who's playing rugby? That's the fun sport. So, okay, Morrigan and lesbian energy, and I do have a question. And first, I would like to ask the Morrigan to, so she's a woman energy, to help me ground. What would be your words on doing a simple grounding? And can you help me get my boys off these electronics? I have to be disciplined. That's honestly why I want to get disciplined. Because if at the few times that I have done weightlifting, I've noticed that I come home and I'm stronger with my boys. So the divine masculine within me is what I need to strengthen to deal with my kids in these video games. So first, a grounding. I'm tired of holding my phone. A grounding that you recommend, Morrigan, and introduce yourself. Dear Kelly, welcome. Yes, I am the voice within you that has been warlike. The one that was like, you're an assassin, you go for their throat. And you want to clarify that those are regarding the ego. Those are not physical manifestations that I'm talking about fighting with. We are assassins of the ego. Okay, so this is why it's hard for you to deal with your boys. because your ego's tied to theirs. So first you want a grounding meditation. Okay. Kelly happens to be outside with a blanket, and I'm going to, I kind of have my feet on the ground, but I'm sitting on a blanket, so I'm not sitting and getting wet, but my feet are touching the earth. And somehow on the ground, standing, whatever, touch the ground and send roots down into earth. Spend a minute breathing in your nose, up around your pineal gland and out your mouth, while sitting up straight, shifting as you need to shift, as you would at the beginning of a yoga class. And feel your spine. Okay, how straight can you get your spine? Does it help to wiggle? We do want you to practice the breath work where you breathe in your nose, you sit up tall, and on the exhale, you roll your shoulders down and you concave your abdomen. We want you to exhale the air out and squeeze your core muscles around your spine as gently as is comfortable, but you still feel it. We don't want you to be trying to do or force anything. Okay, this is a feminine energy. Okay. On that exhale, when everything's empty, at the end of the exhale, you can feel more subtle spaces, muscles, movements, right? You can twist more on the exhale in yoga, right? Exhale, get deep into that twist when you can hold that exhale. Okay. You know, it was being pregnant that made me do yoga. So I started yoga pregnant. Maybe I did one before, but I didn't take it seriously. Okay, women, you're the one who carried those children. You carried them in your body. Okay, Kelly's been trying to figure out the value of women from the perspective of their ability to be intuitive. But damn, you bitches put up with a lot. Pounding. You women put up with a lot of pounding. That's a Betty White joke. Women, you're strong. You're so strong. You're so strong. Okay, your body grew a human, mothers, right? And then you had to go internally to navigate helping that baby come into the world with whatever resources you had, with whatever guidance you had. A lot of it's bad out there. Your education is bad on the planet right now, okay? You guys are not taught well. You're not taught about medicine. You're not taught about why you eat what you eat, okay? You don't even know why you need food. You guys don't understand energy. You don't understand anything. You've been dumbed down, humanity, okay? You've been dumbed down. Can someone be intelligent enough to see that humanity's been dumbed down? Please? Can someone please talk about the elephant in the room that, like, you're all living half asleep, you're doped up on something? Everyone is. Everyone. We don't care what you want to call it. It could be success. You could look like you're doing really well, but you're just doped up on success. Where's that going to take you? You don't take it with you. You can't take it with you. Okay? Everything stays here. So what's the point? Think ahead. Think into the future. Think 7 generations. Okay, what's important 7 generations from now? You guys don't even know what's going on. You don't even know if reincarnation is real. but you have generations, you have blood lineage, but you don't have a soul lineage. It doesn't make sense, you guys. That's what you need to see. You have to see where it doesn't make sense. We have to show you how you've been lied to. Okay? But you guys are squabbling over left and right. Okay? Knock it off. Stop fighting. Okay? And listen. You want to heal the Middle East and all the conflicts? Meditate. Listen to the conflicts in your mind, because you're projecting that conflict. You're staying in the timeline where that conflict exists because it exists inside you. So you don't fix things. You shift timelines. You don't fix you don't move objects to fix things. Duh. We didn't build the pyramids with slaves and wheels. It's so obvious, but you guys are like, huh, that doesn't seem right. There's something fishy going on here. Right? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I was supposed to figure it out, right? Well, you figure it out by continuing to look at the patterns of what they're lying about and what's their strategy. You know, if something's getting pushed as anything popular, don't trust it. It's that simple. You know, recognize that the history is written by the victors, and then read between the lines. That's it. Come on. You guys have lost common sense. That's why we had to come in and get involved, because humanity was like, you guys are not going to figure it out on your own. That's okay, though. That's okay. This was all an experiment, and this is how it's playing out, and you've got all kinds of layers of authority above you. And guess what? The layers of authority that you believe in right now are very punishing and judgmental and like domineering, and they punish you. Kelly just went to court. She's got a hand slap on the hand. $300 I had to pay because I was holding my phone while I was driving. Because the suction mount broke a couple days and I hadn't replaced it, and I had to drive. I had to use it for navigation. I got $300 for holding my phone. So what is that? Punishment from our government. Why? They don't need to watch me drive. I have a clean driving record. I have never gotten in an accident in my whole life. I can manage. I hold a cup of coffee while I drive all the time. I was holding coffee while driving a stick shift. Yes, coffee was spilt on multiple occasions. But it's like, that's how much I love it. That's how much I love it. So, wow, Morrigan. Well, Kelly, you're going to be able to go deeper into these channeling, because you have been working on yourself. You're barefoot right now. And you're barefoot. You are kind to people. You have been putting the effort in. And yes, there are 1,000 things you can do. But when you get into the realm of 600 to 700 of those thousands of things, you're going to start feeling great. No, you're not done. But you shot for the stars and you're hitting the moon. Okay, people? People are telling themselves to give up really quickly. People are giving up way too fast. Okay? Why are you guys so scared of hard work? Because you've been traumatized. When you're traumatized, everything's hard. Everything's hard. So, your boys. All right. Well, okay. We want you to remember what it's like to be their age. Okay? And you don't have much to go with, because when you came home, you were on screens. They're not creating any memories right now with these screens. And you got to meet them where they are. You said to walk into the cell and stand next to them. You've got to get on those video games with them, Kel. But make them choose. Make them meet you halfway. Make them choose a game that doesn't involve guns. Okay, you play the game with them that you'd rather they be playing. Such a good idea, right? And so simple, but you couldn't figure it out without channeling, because you needed someone to hold your hand. Because it was hard, because you have trauma around mothering and your childhood, and you don't want to look at it, and it's hard, and you need someone to hold your hand while you do it. Okay, people? So start holding each other's hands. get together in these circles and practice energy healing with each other by holding hands and by hugging. Okay? It doesn't have to be a formal Reiki on a table. You guys can hold hands and send light through the circle. Start with that, Kel. Okay, now go do some downward dog. Okay, all right, thank you, Morrigan. And so it is, namaste.